And joining me now for more on this is former astronaut Clayton Anderson, who, of course, you would be actually qualified to be a part of this, sir. This is somewhat controversial, a question about whether it's actually needed, what it will be used for, how much it will cost. I'd love to get your thoughts as a former astronaut as to whether you think this is a good idea.
Well, I don't know a lot about the details, Dana, so it's really hard for me to comment because I want to see the implementation. If it can be done with less bureaucracy, then maybe it's something that's plausible.
Do you think that we are behind the curve, that China and Russia are ahead of us, and that this is going to be inevitable, that space is the next frontier, and that we are behind?
Well, I think we have a lot of military assets that are in space today that help our military men and women all around the globe. So protecting those assets is an important thing to consider. Now, how you protect them, that's the question. To think forward to a Star Wars and things blasting each other out of the sky, I think we're a long way from that. But I want to see us be the preeminent spacefaring nation, and if that includes the ability to protect our assets, well, then so be it.
You were a part of the International Space Station. I understand that you served with some Russian cosmonauts there. Tell me a little bit about that cooperation, and did it feel collaborative and cooperative?
Absolutely, it was collaborative and cooperative, and I think if I gave the administration any advice, it would be to find a way to work with China and get some of their astronauts, their taikonauts, into space with us, just like we're flying with the Russians. I believe that if we're working together in space, the odds of us fighting in space or on the ground are lessened.
For those of us who have never been up there in the atmosphere, and we're basically gravity is holding us back here, but also, is it important for us to have some imagination and some creativity and looking ahead? You know, this is Space Force. As the president says he wants it to start in 2020. That doesn't mean it's fully functioning by February of 2020. It means it's a longer range plan. And do we sometimes have a failure to have imagination about what is going to be necessary in the future?
Well, I think a lot of times we rely on those things that come out of Hollywood, right? Some great movies that give us a glimpse of what it might be to live and work in space in the future. And as we all know, some of those early Star Trek ideas have actually sort of come to fruition in like the communicator and telephone. So as we look forward, I don't think we lack that imagination. Oftentimes we just lack the funding to bring that imagination into reality.
Well, it'll be fun to watch how this develops, and I'm sure the debates will be there, but we'll have you back because you're an actual expert in all of this. Clayton Anderson, thank you.
Thank you, Dana.